Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has informed that the main miscreants of the violent attacks on passers-by and bystanders at Shillong on Friday have been identified and one arrest has been made. Informing of the meeting to review the law and order situation in the district held earlier, the Chief Minister said that discussions were held to ensure that necessary arrangements are made in case of a repeat of such incidents in the future. Stating that the Friday incident came as a surprise for the district administration, Sangma said that the government needs to be more stringent and prepared for any instances that might arise during a protest or a rally.
Had the law and order meeting to review the situation that took place last 2 to 3 days back, and we have reviewed the entire situation, and we have instructed the police to take necessary action, and also for future situations, the necessary arrangements and necessary SOPs and all different kind of arrangements that need to be made for future. Those areas also were discussed in detail, and many other areas of law and order situation were discussed, which will not be appropriate for me to share right now on public forum. Already one person has been arrested, and there is also 3 FIRs that have been lodged. Large number of people, I don't want to give numbers, I know the numbers, but I don't want to give it out, have been identified who were the main miscreants who have attacked innocent people, and necessary action is going to be taken against those people. This is actually the 3 people who were injured. They were given the necessary treatment. The injuries were not of a very serious nature. Of course, they were hurt, but it was not of a serious nature. And there were about 2 or 3 vehicles, mostly autos and scooters, and 1 gypsy, which I think belonged to the army, that were slightly damaged. But apart from that, there was no major damage to any personal vehicles or any kind of assets of the government. See, one can gauge and just come to a conclusion of any kind of situation and give it a tag name of failure of intelligence. But in situations like these, especially when organizations are there who are asking for different kind of permissions to hold these programs, there is a sense that, of course, as they've mentioned, that they will follow the procedures and everything. Administration always believes that there is some sense of at least some trust in this entire process. And therefore, certain things come out completely as a surprise to everybody. And in this entire incident that happened, there were few selected people who were identified, and and therefore it could be clearly seen that out of the 1,500 plus people who were there were very, very few selected who resorted to this kind of a violent activity. And hence, this was something that was completely came as a surprise. And of course, you can always be, you can go to the conclusion and say that, well, you could have intelligence failure. These are all matters of assessment by any individual. But as I said, on a larger scale, when you have programs like these, when you give permissions, when you discuss with organizations, you expect some kind of a process to be followed in every way, and they should always be, taking certain level of responsibility. And incidents like these, as I said, we cannot cover every single aspect. But definitely, having said that, we have seen that these kind of situations are some things that will require the government to be more stringent in the future, and we will have to take much more steps to even look at all the most impossible situations. Also will have to be looked into the thing and need to be prepared for every kind of situation in the future.
Meanwhile, on the issue of unemployment and the demand for an employment policy, the Chief Minister informed of the projects and programs implemented by the state government in various sectors for job creation.
So we have, since the government has taken over, we have 2,000 new entrepreneurs who have been supported by the Meghalaya government. These are not just individuals, but these are people who are running businesses. So the Prime program has been one of our core programs that we've been doing. Apart from that, more than 20,000 plus different kind of producer groups have been formed in order to ensure that different support is given through agriculture support, and funds are given to them. We have formed a large number of cooperative societies so that different cooperative societies can get training, and they can go into food processing, packaging and marketing of their products outside. We have large number of self-help groups which were not formed before, were formed during our time. These are all steps towards job creation and livelihood creation. Now, if one has to look at only government jobs as jobs, then that is being very narrow in the approach. So therefore, from our point of view, until unless entrepreneurship and the overall rural economy, the service sector, the large number of today, for homestays, we had opened up about 1 month or 1.5 months back. We had opened up the applications for homestays, and you'd be happy to know that hundreds, almost 700 people have applied for it. And obviously, these are also job creations. So through this, not just them, the people who own it, but the people who work in it also will get jobs. You look at what's happening in Taj today. With the opening up of Taj, in direct employment, over 100 people have got employment. And out of these 100 people who got employment, almost all of them were working outside. And today they're back here in our own state at home working. And out of this 100, almost 80% are women. So therefore, all different kind of projects and programs are being done precisely to create jobs. And that's been one of the centers of the way the government works. And therefore, if one looks at only government jobs and says, well, what is happening there? Then as I said, it's a very narrow perspective of job creation. Government jobs are there. Of course, they need to be filled up, and process is on. As I said, even the fact that the temporary teachers that were there, who now, of course, some of them have made it an issue, who could not make it when the posts were regularized. You have to realize that these posts were temporary posts, and these posts were casual teachers. And today, against those 1,000 casual posts, 1,000 permanent teachers have been appointed. Similarly, the recruitment process for all other government sector programs, government sector departments are going on even as we speak. So therefore, the process is on. Things do take time. COVID has not been something that has helped us. So under all these things, all these areas are being addressed. So therefore, as I said, the concerns that have been raised by many people are, of course, concerns of the government also. And steps have been taken in very detailed manner to ensure that this issue is addressed. But obviously, as I said, every state government and every country faces the problem of unemployment.